Identifying your core motivator is the key to unlocking the elevated choice here, Scorpio. Let's dive in. Hey Scorpio, welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is a timeless reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or wherever Scorpio falls in your chart. Cross watchers are also welcome. And my intention for this reading is to help you come into better alignment with your highest good in this moment. Let's see what's going on with Scorpio. At the heart of your reading, we have the World in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So you are, I don't know why, but they're giving me cashing out. This is not taking an opportunity to upgrade in some way, in a big final sense that has you, it would have had you saying goodbye to the past and starting a whole new fresh future. But the fact that you're declining the opportunity here with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse tells me that you took a look through that portal and you didn't like what you saw. You said, no, I'm fine where I am. Thank you very much. What's the challenge here? What challenge is Scorpio facing? They've just declined this opportunity. Standing strong, standing firm in your decision. You aren't sure that you're making the right choice here. You might not have finalized your choice or given someone your answer yet. You feel like saying no is the right move. You feel like standing firm and standing up for yourself, putting your foot down on what you want, is the, it's the move that your elevated self would make. So that's how you want to behave in the situation. Yeah, you're still making the decision though. Your focus is on Two of Swords energy, so you're in the middle of should I or shouldn't I? Well, hopefully this reading gives some clarity, or at least some ideas to consider as you're making your choice. As the choice came out, as the Two of Swords came out, we have the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So this is very much this, I'll back up a second. The World card in the tarot, in the major arcana, is the last card in the progression of the Fool's journey, and the Fool starts the whole story anew. So it's this cycle. It's like once you go through the World energy, you're in Fool energy again. You're launching a new project, or you're starting fresh in a new city. You're the new guy at work, because you've started a new job. There's definitely this feeling of weighing the pros and cons. What am I going to lose? What are the benefits? But so far, the way it's shaping up, it looks like you are leaning toward saying no. Or actually, let me kind of flavor that impression a bit with this. I'm getting the sense that it's tied together, that if you say no to the opportunity, you will have more so the energy of not leaving the past behind. You'll stay in the same kind of mode and genre of life that you've been in for a little while, and you'll continue on in that energy rather than kind of wiping the slate clean and starting fresh in a big, bold new way. But if you were to say yes, it would also, I'm going to show you what I'm saying here. they came out together in the reverse, right? But if you're still making the decision, what I'm getting is, if you say no to the opportunity, you stay where you are, you don't have the fresh start. But if you say yes to the opportunity, it turns this energy over as well, right? So if you decide to say yes, that puts the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position, and then the World is also in the upright, meaning, okay, time to make a list of everything that's got to go. I've got to either move or start a new job or start a new relationship. There's some big ending to clear space for newness that would occur if you were to say yes to this. And whichever way you decide, you want to make the elevated choice. You want to demonstrate strength energy, which is you having honed some sort of self-discipline or savvy awareness about how to make a very good choice in this sort of a situation. My guides are saying they're going to make the right choice. They're going to make the right choice. I'm like, don't belittle their struggle here. It feels reassuring, but it's also a little bit like, why are they fussing over this? They should just make the choice because they're going to make the right choice. Anyways, in the recent past, we have the High Priestess in reverse, which is, I think, you not listening to your intuition, or feeling like you had some sort of experience. Maybe you saw a synchronicity or a vision or something out of the norm happened, and it holds some meaning for you, but at the same time your logical brain is saying that was a fluke. There's no reasonable explanation for this. You can't take it seriously. It doesn't have... It's a little bit making fun of you. I feel like your inner voice, your inner critic is saying, oh yeah, I had a vision, I'm so important. And it's naysaying you, and it's trying to protect you from doing, like, it's trying to protect you from doing anything different than what you've done in the past, because it doesn't want you to get hurt. And your inner critic feels like taking risks or behaving in a way that anyone could perceive as worthy of scorn or worthy of being called crazy, then it's going to try and rope you back in, or rein you in, I should say, and influence your behavior so that you don't act on it. Play it safe, Scorpio. Don't look crazy. So it's going to, like, use all of the tools at its disposal. This feels very internal. This feels very playing mind games with yourself sort of energy. So in the recent past, High Priestess in reverse, I feel like you had an experience or a vision or something unexplainable that if you were to listen to it, I think you would know what to do. But you're like, I can't base my decision off of a dream or a vision. That's not responsible. Yeah, a dream or a vision, not wanting to heed it. Star in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Show me crowning energy. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is so that you zero in on what you want without leaving yourself open for something better to come along, leaving yourself open to continue considering other options. This is very much like, in this instance, Spirit is saying you can't have it all, you've got to choose. And more than that, it's also saying that there's some reason for making choices that's your go-to, your usual reasoning for how you choose, like what motivates you to choose one thing over another thing. And Spirit is seeing an opportunity for you in this situation to change that. Instead of, let me think of an example. Instead of making the choice that's going to have you looking good in front of other people, you'll make the choice motivated by something else. Or instead of making the choice based on what is going to give you the most opportunity to make money, you're going to choose a different motivation. Or not necessarily that you're going to. The reason that this comes out in this position is because from a higher perspective, like your spirit support team, your guides, your passed on loved ones, your higher self can see the potential future path that you could be stepping onto. Like if you do this, this is what your future is going to look like. Or if you do that, this is what that future would look like. And the primo opportunity here is what I've just described. It's like, okay, my Scorpio loved one, you're going to have an opportunity here to shift how you make a decision, to shift what motivates you, emotionally speaking, when you are at this sort of, am I going to do this or am I going to do that sort of a quandary. Show me what comes up in the near future. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you are going to quit a job. Others of you are just going to have a really strong break from routine. There's something that you do by rote or out of habit on a regular basis, and that's going to either come to an end completely or it's going to come to a halt and you'll take a break from it. With the Eight of Pentacles reversed there. Let's see what's going to surprise you in the situation that you don't see coming. Empress energy. Okay, so I have to do my due diligence as a tarot reader and remind those of you that are unaware that the Empress energy is very much the fertile womanhood sort of energy. So for it to come out in the surprise position, I would take caution for those of you who are not wanting to become a mother. If you don't want to be pregnant, there's opportunity or potential for a surprise pregnancy here. Or you or your partner, depending on who has the womb. You can see here, she's got the pregnant belly. That's because of the archetype of the Empress. That's part of, she's like the archetypal feminine creation, and part of that archetype is bearing children. So little asterisk here on the reading so that you guys are aware in case that's a potential for you. If that's not relevant, or you feel like that's not the core meaning of this card coming out for your situation, the Empress is also about rising into a higher potential of expressing who you are. So expressing your feminine side in a way that is very creative. And uniquely, in this reading, I feel very strongly that this is you surprising others. Almost always, the way that I read that position is that it's something that's going to surprise you. But I think for most of you, I mean, you could surprise yourself, or people's reactions to your debut in some way could surprise you. But people are going to see you as an authority, as strong, powerful, creative, successful, influential, beautiful, charming, happy, and content. So whichever way you decide, I feel like that bodes very well either way. Now, because the opportunity at the heart of your reading, whatever that represents for you, it showed up in the reverse, meaning you're inclined to not accept the opportunity. I'm going to say, however this reading shapes up in terms of what it shows as a potential outcome is going to be based on those of you who decide to not take the opportunity. So let's see. Hopes and fears. What are we hopeful for? And what are we afraid of? The Nine of Swords is straight up fear. I mean, this is distress. You might really be stressing out in wanting to make the right decision here. Because the Nine of Swords is losing sleep, it's having nightmares, it's pervasive stress. It's fears, doubts, insecurities. Show me how this all turns out if Scorpio doesn't take the opportunity. Three of Cups reversed. You could lose friends over it, or you could be in a unhappy mood based on like how you emotionally feel about the outcome. The Three of Cups in the upright is socializing with friends, having fun, lightheartedness. In the reverse, it's very much like a somber attitude. I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like hanging out with friends. It could be a separation or a parting of ways from specific friends. Now, some of you are, for me, sometimes this has the vibe of drinking. Not wanting to go out drinking with friends. And I say that for the reason of the energy as I perceive it, just generally archetypally of the Three of Cups, the way that that plays out in modern life is very much like, hey, let's go to the bar and sit and drink together. It's nothing deep. You're not having like intimate, soul-searching, deep conversations about meaningful topics and philosophies. You're kind of shutting off your brain and forgetting about the outside world and just being jovial with friends or acquaintances, right? So that's the way that it shows up in modern life most often. And for that reason, it fits the context, and that's why I bring it up. Some of you could be breaking with a routine of going out for drinks with friends. Or like, I don't want to join the pub quiz team. It could be something as simple as that. Or so I should say something as straightforward as that. Because it doesn't feel simple the way that I'm picking up on your energy. It doesn't feel simple to you. At the bottom of the deck when that came out is the Three of Wands in reverse. So it's very much like hey, okay, guys, take the trip without me. Like, you go off and do your thing. Have your party, have your fun, have your drinks. I don't want to be a part of it. So if that's the case, it feels like a very positive decision. It could be like a group of friends want to go in together to buy a brewery, and you're saying, no, I don't want, because that would bring so much change into my life. I've really built up this sort of inner strength. I'm not tempted by that anymore. But for those of you who that doesn't fit, I see this as an indication that if you don't take the opportunity, you'll be sad about it, and you'll feel like you missed the boat, like your friends are off taking an adventure, or whomever you said no to is carrying on with their life and they said yes to it. You're going to be able to see how it plays out in their life. I mean, or not. Maybe you don't stay in contact with them, but I just see like the paths diverging, and whatever it was that you could have been involved with, they go on to do it without you. And for some of you, the way that fits your situation is that you would regret not doing it. Because I'm seeing sadness here. The Three of Cups in reverse just indicates that you would feel like you're missing out with friends, or missing out on fun times with friends. The advice here is the Magician in reverse. For those of you who employ magic on a regular basis in your life, and you're experienced with spell work, and however you employ that in your life, this is saying that you are considering taking some measures to influence the outcome of your situation. And I need to phrase this carefully because it's going to be different for each one of you. And I want to make sure to be accurate with the message that's coming through from Spirit. Some of you are unsure whether or not you should employ baneful magic. And if you have already been considering doing that, and only if you've already been considering doing that, the advice is yes. You have a good idea of what to do, and in keeping with your belief system, it would have the intended outcome that you want that spell to have. Now, for the rest of you who, let me say, for those of you who do work with magic, but you have not been considering any sort of like hexing or hotfoot spell or whatever it is that you might have been, like, if you've never heard of baneful magic or any of those sorts of terms that I'm saying, then this message is quite different for you. This advice is saying, don't employ magic. It's saying, whatever it was, whatever spell you were thinking of doing to influence the situation, don't do it. Don't mess with it. Don't tie your energy up with that situation. The third camp, for those of you who are not of the witchy, woo-woo, spellwork variety, the Magician in reverse is, as advice, would be encouraging you to take whatever means necessary, whatever tools are at your disposal, to selfishly influence the situation for whatever outcome is best for you. Even if you feel like it's a little shady, it's a little underhanded, but it's not going to hurt anybody, it's not illegal, it's not immoral, it's just iffy. The advice is go ahead and do what it takes to get the outcome that you need to happen. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helped. Take care, and I will see you back next time.